Hello everyone. The apocalypse is coming and we're all going to die. So I better practice. Welcome to Project Zomboid. I want this video to be more realistic and interesting, so if I die then that's it. I die in real life too. Alright, so for the main traits I've decided to imitate an Andrew Tate stan. I have no skills, I'm unemployed, but I am very strong. I called my character Turtle Frank, made him the most beautiful a man can look and loaded in. I immediately began ransacking the starter house. A machete and 2 crowbars. This guy must be a redditor. Wasn't that joke hilarious? If you want to hear more 10 out of 10 jokes like that, you should subscribe. Right now. Anyways, while I'm robbing myself, here's the plan. As the apocalypse began, I hear tale of an isolated radio station. It has a large fence, 2 huts to shelter in, and is surrounded by a massive forest. The perfect place to shelter. In order to get there, I'm gonna need a car plus gas. So that's the goal for now. So, after having a nice little chat with my neighbor, I began making my way towards their house. Oh god, there's more coming. Here's a little trick I learned. You just let them stumble through the window and you just whack them. Well, the most notable thing my neighbors had was an apple and some ice cream. I expect nothing more from the likes of Greg. And so I moved on. I spotted my next target, killed the inhabitants, and began looting. I didn't know my aunt was strapped. Oh hey grandma. Oh hey, you brought me some groceries. Wait a minute. Decaf? After saying hello to grandma, I made my way into this home. I did this by climbing through a broken window filled with sharp glass. A genius move. It resulted in an immediate gaping wound. I had entered a terrible situation. There were zombies pounding the doors from all sides while I was bleeding profusely. I ripped the clothes off the zombie I just killed in the hope of patching my wound. Nothing like patching myself with the clothes of an infected, filled with blood, dirt and sweat. I'm sure this won't cause me any problems in the future. Well, guess I better get to work. Oh god, please, you gotta believe me, it was self-defense officer, please, please. Well, this is going well. Oh, I'm extremely panicked. Yeah, thanks, I don't need a game to tell me that. I had gotten myself in quite the pickle. You see, once zombies get angry at you, they will walk towards you for miles. And that's really the danger of them. They just kind of wear you down. Slowly. Not me though. I had a plan. Houses. Once you get into a house, you can finesse your way out of a random window and hopefully lose the horde. For some reason, I also decided to do some household chores while my life was in extreme danger. Alright, I think I'm safe. Jesus, police, I think I found the bank robber. Get down here. Actually, for some reason, I just don't feel that safe on anymore. I can't put my finger on it. Alright, well, let me just wash myself in this extremely clean bathroom. Oh god, a rapist. Anyways, remember when I told you the horde would just follow you for miles? Yeah, there they are. After repeatedly trying to hit them with the shake and bake and failing miserably every time, I was starting to lose hope. Eventually, I saw it. My final opportunity. See those large fences? Zombies can't climb over those as far as I'm aware, and so I ran towards the fence. I jumped over, dealt with the few zombies that were there, and hid inside the house. You can actually see the horde that had walked all the way around the fence outside the window. I don't think I actually noticed these at all, but luckily I left just in time. You know, this is a nice enough neighborhood. It would be a shame if someone were to... There we are, the medical office. Now, due to some actions with no fault regarding myself, I think I could benefit from some medical attention. I was really careful walking through the rooms. I kind of expected the movie cliche where there's just 400 zombies in the waiting room for some reason, but to my surprise it was completely clear. And so I decided to get some rest and call it the end of day 1. Day 2, I woke up, ate an entire tub of ice cream and got to work. I robbed the local family-owned grocery store. I also decided to clear out some more zombies, but as I was doing that, tragedy struck. I was bit. But I was fine. You see, a while ago I equipped these rain boots. They give 100 scratch and bite protection, so the only reason I was okay was because the zombie decided to hit the only spot that is survivable for me. After a while I fell into routine, just going house to house, grabbing the apocalypse essentials like food, clothes, duct tape. I was starting to get bored. The only adrenaline I still got was just sneaking towards the house. You see, when roaming and entering the house, you have to be extremely careful. Extremely stealthy. Slowly make your way inside. And oh god. And so, I ran off. desperately trying to get away from the forming crowds, climbing as many fences, creating as many obstacles between the horde and I as I possibly could. Well, on a brighter note, I'm no longer bored. While I was trying to clear out the house in the hopes of sheltering there, I was scratched. I had no time to check how severely, but I could tell I was bleeding, so I just kept running. I eventually took refuge in a shack not too far away from the incident. I took some time to eat, sleep, and patch up my wounds. I also took the time to read an entire first aid book, because well, it felt appropriate at the time. As I was looting for some neighboring houses, I found a better gun. With the recent incidents, I felt it was a good idea to pack just a little more firepower. And again, I passed into a state of routine. The days just passed more quickly. All excitement had left my life. I did manage to repair my machete, which made dealing damage to zombies a lot easier. But as I walked into the shack, I saw this generator. It reminded me of my goals, my ambitions of a better, more secluded life away from all the violence and danger, and so my motivation was reinvigorated. I had to get a car, and so I went to the only man that could help me. Hello, church. Father, why have you forsaken us? Well, at least the father has a sweet ride. No keto. I took shelter and called it the end of day 4. I spent the first half of day 5 just ruining this entire neighborhood. No old woman was walking around without getting 8 machete chops to the head. Anyways, I eventually made my way over to this house, which it was relatively empty, but it did have one interesting thing. A car. More specifically, a car with a key. I checked the engine and it was actually looking pretty good. There was just one problem. Gas. I do have something to admit. I have no clue where this radio station is. I know it's a dirt exit that leads off the highway. I think I also know the highway I need to get to, but that's about it. So with this in mind, I decided it was probably wise to find some gas. But I just immediately gave up. Alright, I give up looking for gas. I'm just gonna drive towards where I think the station is and hope to find an abandoned car with gas I can siphon. I think that's always the best strategy for surviving the apocalypse. Just hand your survival over to pure luck. Please start, come on. Thank you. I have to say the mood is a bit too ominous for my liking. I just have to find my way to the highway and out of this goddamn town. The zombies just keep running into my car while I'm driving. Officer, you have to believe me, those kids just ran into my car while I was going 120 in the school zone, please. After 500 counts of vehicular manslaughter, I think I found the highway, and so my journey began. Alright, I need to pull over for gas. I think I can clear these zombies out, but it's not going to be easy. There's no gas in this truck, it's basically over for me. Oh, thank God. I have to drive relatively carefully, because I kind of think if I drive too fast, I'll just slam through a zombie and ruin my car forever. Alright, I am completely lost. Alright, fuel stop 2.0. Well, I did all that for nothing. Great. Oh, please start. Please. A bridge. I don't remember there being a bridge. It's a pretty bad sign. Well, what do you do if you're lost? That's right, just keep heading forward. I think that's a great idea. Oh, hello, police. Can you guys help me? No? Okay. Oh, let me just take that real quick. Fuel stop 3.0. Roadblock. Oh, I know where I am. Yeah. I'm at the very north side of the map. That's great. Well, I'm about half the map's length from where I need to be. That's great. Well, my odds continue to deteriorate. Alright guys, I think I found where I'm supposed to be. My exit from the highway is directly above the city I spawned in. I drove about 3/4 of the map for no reason at all, and I'm already getting tired, hungry, and my gas is running out relatively quickly. This isn't looking great for Turtle Frank. What the hell am I hearing? Why do I hear like do I have a flat tire or something? Alright, so I googled it, and apparently that's a helicopter, which is a rare event where the helicopter just kind of follows you and draws all the zombies towards you. That's great. My day just continues to improve. Look at all the zombies. Oh God. Alright, I think it's gone. And well, would you look at that? I think that's one of the exits that leads towards the station. Alright, it's back. Great. But on a more positive note, I think I found the road towards the station. There I was. After overcoming all odds, I had finally arrived. I quickly made my way inside this little house, killed the local inhabitants, and took refuge. But the helicopter was still blaring overhead. All I could do was wait and pray that none of the hordes from the highway would make their way towards me. I slept for about 10 hours and hoped the helicopter would just kinda be gone by the time I woke up, but it wasn't. As time grew on, I became more and more scared. Well, the helicopter isn't gone and there's probably a horde on the way. Can't think of a better time to do some household chores. I think he's gone. Now that I had settled into my new home, I spent some time getting acquainted with the whole compound. One problem I did notice with the place is the limited water supply. It's not the most pressing problem ever, as 250 water is plenty to sustain me for months in terms of hydration, but washing things is way too expensive to be an option right now. I have good news. I think the scratch is gone. I removed the bandage and it has completely disappeared, so I think I'm fine. After having my little rest break, I decided to go for an early morning adventure. I drove down my highway and what I found was a little concerning. You see, the zombies from the highway that were likely coming towards the helicopter were like 100 meters away from my base. And so I decided it was necessary to do some crowd control. Anyways, after I had gotten acquainted with the local indigenous people, I looted the shotgun from this police officer. Thank you for your service. And went on my way. I just kind of drove around looking for potential points of interest. I also appropriated some more gas and eventually I ended up at a local logging company. Man, there's nothing in here. I can't believe this logging company only has logs in it. I also decided to sleep in this little log cabin thing that had no door and was in the middle of a forest filled with zombies. So you can see that my survival instincts were at their best. After that I made my way back home and ended my day with my favorite radio broadcast. The emergency automated broadcast system. Wonderful. When I woke up I was reinvigorated with a new passion. I knew I needed water, food, materials, weapons, everything I needed to make this place a home. I pulled over at the local police stop out of respect and took everything they had, which turned out to be a lot. After having a little chat with the police, I made my way into town. I was having some trouble getting to a spot where I could get out without getting absolutely swarmed. When I did finally decide on a spot, tragedy struck. That's right, I got bit. My world blackened, there was nothing I can do except continue on. There's no way of knowing if I'm infected or not. I looted a bit from town and went straight back home. I quickly disinfected and bandaged the wound after I got lacerated, but I knew if I was really infected, this wouldn't help one bit. There was nothing to do but move on and pray. And so, with the night approaching, I microwaved a pork chop like a fucking psychopath and fell asleep. In the morning, I walked around a bit, did some basic chores, but all I could think about was my wound. I started to feel ill and a little sad. I heard at the beginning of the apocalypse these were likely first symptoms, but they are also influenced by a lot of other things. I mean, who wouldn't be sad after eating a microwave pork chop? And you know, I'm constantly covered in zombie guts and blood. I'm sleeping next to a corpse, so I figured I wouldn't rush to the most dire conclusion. After that, I thought it would be good for me to have some excitement in my life, a little fun. So I decided to test my shotgun. It was kind of a pathetic run. I just drove my car down the driveway looking for some zombies and took a few pot shots. And I just drove home. With my attempt at fun ruined, I was feeling less and less motivation to do anything at all. I just kind of walked around a bit, took a nap, read a magazine. You know what? Maybe my grandma's lifestyle wasn't as bad as I thought. And then at night I just decided to sit in my car for a while. I thought maybe the air in the house was making me sick or something. Deep down I knew it was irrational, but the car just felt a little safer. All I could think about was that little doctor's office I stayed at. Only a few days ago, sleeping in that bed upstairs, dreaming of the safe radio station. Would I have still dreamt of that place if I knew the price that had to be paid? I don't know. And then BAM! A zombie! In my panic state, I immediately pressed E to leave the car. This was a huge mistake. I got bit in the neck. I actually almost bled out in the time it took me to kill the zombie and bandage my wound. I was furious. I knew that now there was really no chance of recovery. Filled with rage, I did what any man would do. I took every drug I could find, grabbed my 12-gauge shotgun, loaded up my 9mm pistol and went out for some revenge. After I depleted all the shotgun ammo I had, I drove home. over my driveway that was now littered with the corpses of former zombies. I got home, walked back to my house, and tried thinking of any ways of slowing down the infection. I took all the pills that I thought might even give me a slightly better chance. I saw the bandage around my neck was dirty. I knew I couldn't survive another bacterial infection. I knew what needed to be done. I ripped off the bandage, disinfected it, and rebandaged my wound. In doing this, I had lost even more valuable health. I did my best to appreciate the time I had left. I ate some food, listened to the radio, sat down for a bit, smoked an entire pack of cigarettes. I took just way too many sleeping pills and I fell asleep. I woke up extremely close to death. I immediately sprinted out the door with only one goal in mind: the local medical center. If there was a chance, a fix for this infection, that would be the place to have it. I hopped in my car and drove as fast as I possibly could. I made sure to avoid any large obstacles, as hitting one of those could mean certain death. I sped through town, desperately looking for the medical center. After making a few corners, I had found it. I hopped out as fast as I possibly could. I shot the local zombies, climbed through the window, fired some more. I did everything in my power, but there was nothing I could do. With the horde growing inside, I left. In my dazed state, I fired my last shots. As I ran back to the car, the infection. But let me tell you, I did not go easily into the Dark Knight. I mean, 183 kills and 1 death. If that isn't a good KDR, I don't know what is. So what have we learned from all this? We're all doomed, and we will all die. Subscribe.